In the last video, I said that everybody have to study penology and victimology in order to understand what is the appropriate punishment to be given to the offenders. That being said, a basic question arises. What is the meaning of the term punishment? Since the whole subject penology and victimology is based on punishments, what is the meaning of the term punishment? The common understanding is punishment is the authoritative imposition of something unpleasant on a person or group of persons for a definite end. Let us break this down. Authoritative imposition, that means it is imposed by the authority, not by some third party common man. That authority can be the state or the king or the tribal chief, whoever it may be. It is imposed by the authority of something unpleasant. It may be in form of fine, imprisonment, or even death sentence. Taking away the freedoms of a person is unpleasant. Imposing fine is unpleasant. Taking away the life of a person is obviously very, very unpleasant. So, authoritative imposition of something unpleasant on a person or a group of persons for a definite end, for a specific end. What is that end? In other words, why are punishment imposed by the state? Is it simply because the person has violated the law? For that purpose, punishments are imposed. Why is that state has become a medium for making human beings' lives miserable? Is it just to punish the offender? Is it to reform the offender? Is it to make him an example for others? Why are punishments imposed? Based on this question, there are various theories formulated by jurists and criminologists explaining what is the purpose behind imposing punishment on the offenders. There are 5 theories. In this video, 2 theories will be covered. The 5 theories are retributive theory, preventive theory, deterrent theory, reformative theory, and expiatory theory. So, what is the purpose behind punishments? We will begin. The term retribution means retaliation, taking revenge, paying back. This theory is also called as the vindictive theory of punishment, which believes in pain for pain. According to this theory, a good action deserves to be treated with a reward, and a bad action similarly has to be punished. Evil must be returned to evil. You do good, you deserve a reward. You do bad, you must be punished. Very simple. The supporters of this theory are Immanuel Kant, Hegel, Plato, Sir John Salmond, and many others. The supporters of this theory argue that if the criminal is not punished by the state, the victim will seek individual revenge. It increases action, reaction, and chain of actions. This would mean Lynch law. According to this theory, punishment is an end in itself. There is no other purpose. Why do you have to punish the offender? Because he has violated the law. That's it. See, if a person attacks you, don't you think you have the right to defend yourself? Just as it is morally permissible for a person to defend himself, similarly, the society is at liberty to defend itself from the actions of a few individuals. So the society's desire for revenge cannot be disregarded by the state. So those who violate the law, those who cause harm must be punished by the state if the society has to be peaceful and healthy. Immanuel Kant has given an extreme application of this theory. He says, tomorrow, if the community decides to dissolve itself with the consent of every member, first the murderers in prison have to be killed and then the community can dissolve, because every person has to get his due according to his deeds. This theory is based on the saying, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, whatever you can call, life for life, etc. So basically, this theory says, whatever the crime the person has committed, it must be given back, as if taking a loan. You do good, you get back good. You give evil, evil will be returned back. Now the question will be, is it still followed? Is it still relevant? The retributive theory of punishment was very prevalent in the ancient times. In the Draconian Code, in the Babylonian Code, we can see this. Even in some of the Islamic countries, this theory is still in operation. Qisas, retribution. Even today, it is still relevant. Even under the IPC, section 302, what is that? Punishment for committing murder. So if a person murders somebody, he can also be awarded death sentence or life imprisonment. Section 126 and 127 of IPC talks about forfeiture of property by the state. If a person acquires property by waging war, that property can be forfeited by the state. So this theory is not so relevant today, but in the ancient legal systems, it was very much followed. Now, some have criticized this theory. So let us break down some of the criticisms. Some of the criticisms against this theory are, number one, it is a relic of barbarism. That means, if you support this theory, barbaric punishments are imposed. This theory taps more on the emotional aspect of the society. Punishments cannot be given based on emotions. Oh, people feel I have to kill him, I have to chop his head, chop off his fingers, chop off his arm. Emotionally, we cannot react. Criminal act and punishments have to be looked at objectively, not subjectively. A person steals some amount of money, his hands cannot be cut off. Who knows? In the future, that person may become a very good painter, a very good artist. So, sudden reactions, emotional reactions, this theory supports. So, barbaric punishments, cruel and inhuman punishments will be imposed under this theory, is the first criticism. Second criticism, it ignores the reformatory aspect of a criminal. In the underworld and in the criminal world, we have seen many instances where people, for some or the other reason, they enter into the underworld or they commit crimes. Maybe they had no maturity at their young age, or because of poverty or because of bad influence, people would have committed crimes. So for that very reason, taking their life away or chopping their hands will not help them or the society in any way. Like I said, many reformatives theory, many supporters of the reformative theory says that crime should be treated as a disease rather than a criminal act. So they say punishment should aim at reforming the criminal, and simply punishing them will serve no purpose. Third criticism, it does not apply to crimes committed by insane persons and minors, because the insane person has no idea that he is committing a crime. This is how it will actually impact others. He has no idea. So giving barbaric treatments to that person is inhumane. Similarly, a minor who has no understanding that this is a criminal act or this will lead to this, what is the point in punishing a small minor? Fourth criticism, it has no practical utility in the sense that statistically it has been proven that just because punishments are barbaric doesn't mean the crime rate has reduced. So it cannot be applied to all of the countries and it has no practical value. Lastly, it does not apply to all the crimes. There are some crimes where the victim and the offender both are the same persons. For instance, drug related offenses. Here, the person using the drugs is violating the law, and the victim himself is also the same person. If I am a drug addict, I am the victim as well as the offender. Where is retribution? Similarly, white collar crimes, corruption or blackmailing or those kind of things, where it affects the entire society. In those cases also, retributive punishment cannot be applied. Same punishment cannot be given. The person has looted 1,000 crores. Same punishment, how can you give? So the point is, same punishment cannot be given for the same offense, and we cannot focus on the emotional aspect of punishment is the criticism. Nevertheless, retributive theory of punishment says punishment is an end in itself. You don't have to give punishment for any other purpose, because he has committed the crime, he must be punished, which was very relevant in the ancient times. It is still relevant today in some parts of the world. The preventive theory. The supporters of the preventive theory are Sir John Salmond and Justice Holmes. This theory is based on the saying, prevention is better than cure. See, in every legal system, there are many objectives. It can be administration of justice, maintaining law and order, protecting the rights of the citizens, and also prevention of crimes. This theory serves one of the purposes of every legal system, that is prevention of crimes. So the supporters of this theory argue that the object of punishment is to prevent the offender from the repetition of crime by making him incapable of committing the crime again. Once again, I'll repeat, the object of punishment according to this theory is to prevent the offender from repetition of the crime by making him incapable of committing the crime once again. So what does this mean? This means that this theory has no application to first time offenders. This theory applies to those people who have already committed the crimes and the state should make sure that those people will not commit the crime once again by making him incapable of committing the crimes. That is the preventive theory. Sir John Salmond has made a beautiful comparison between murderers and snakes. He says, we hang murderers not because it puts fear into the hearts of other people who are thinking of committing the crimes. No. We hang murderers for the same reason we kill snakes, because it is better for us that they be outside this world rather than they be in it. This means snakes and murderers have to be killed so that society will be peaceful. So, this theory aims to make sure that a criminal does not repeat committing the crime by making him incapable. Johann Fichte has observed that the end of all penal laws is that they are not to be applied. What Johann Fichte, a German jurist, meant was, let us say a landowner puts up a board, trespassers will be prosecuted. Here he does not want an actual trespasser to enter his home, and he does not want to spend money to prosecute him and to make sure that he is punished. No. He is putting up the board hoping that it will act as a threat to any trespasser, and it will prevent him from committing a crime or violating the law. So the whole object of this theory is to prevent the crimes and to make sure that people who have already committed the crimes will not commit it once again. Now the question is, how to make a person incapable of committing the crime once again? Does this theory have any value today? What are some of the examples of punishments which have inculcated this theory? There are many types of punishments under the Indian Penal Code and many other penal laws. The question will be, what punishments have the element of preventive theory in them? Number one, death penalty. Death penalty is an extreme form of disablement. The person who is awarded death sentence obviously cannot repeat the offense once again because he is dead. Unless, of course, you believe in ghosts and other evil spirits. Number two, imprisonment, where the person is temporarily for that period or permanently, depending on the gravity of the offense he has committed, he is detained, and for that period he is made incapable of repeating the offense, hoping that once he goes to prison, he will come back a reformed person. Number three, mutilation and banishment. Mutilation, this was practiced back in the old days, where cutting off the limbs of a person, hands, feet, etc. If a person who used to steal, a person who used to cheat, a person who used to lie, if his hands, tongue are cut off, the chances of him doing the same act again is prohibited. Similarly, banishment. If a people or a group of people, they are banished from a village or from a particular place, they cannot commit the offense once again in that same village. This is now practiced in some of the village areas. Fourth type of punishment will be disqualification orders. A person will be disqualified from driving. A person will be disqualified from contesting elections. So in that way, he is prevented from committing further crimes or suspension orders. For the period of suspension, he cannot commit the crimes once again. Last form of punishment which has the element of prevention is preventive detention, where citizens who are deemed as dangerous to society will be detained temporarily whenever there is some communal dispute or whenever the police expect that there will be some kind of violence or disturbance in the society. These people will be detained temporarily in the jail. Article 22, Clause 3 of the Indian Constitution also supports this, but it cannot be more than 3 months. So, if a person is detained temporarily, it will prevent that person from further committing the crimes in the future. These are some of the punishments which have the element of preventive theory in them. You know, the critics, they never go away. The critics have criticized this theory also. They say this theory treats human beings as things. What are they things? They also have feelings. They have committed the crime for some reason. Please consider that also. Point number one. Number two, this theory applies only to hardened criminals and not to first time offenders or people who have committed crimes in the spur of the moment, or minors or insane persons, because they have no idea. Many a times in petty offences, people will be let go by the judge. He will impose a small fine, he will be scolded and he will be let go. For that reason, cutting off his hands or making him go to prison is illogical according to the critics. And lastly, this theory ignores the reformatory aspect of a criminal. These reformists have criticized all the theories, saying a criminal is like a patient. Treat him, do not punish him. There is a chance that he can be a law-abiding citizen. Just because he has committed a crime doesn't mean he is a bad person. No, there is a chance for reforming him. So, that is what they say. So, I have covered two of the theories. In the next video, three more theories will be covered. That is the expiatory theory, reformative theory, and the deterrent theory. And it has been brought to me attention that 70% of the viewers have not subscribed to the channel. This is very bad. Kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment. See you all in the next video.